Mel, maayong buntag ni mo diya, Mel. Good morning, Mel Libre. Hold on, give me a second. I think we muted it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. This is Mel Libre, and of course,
Joey Ayala.
Joey Ayala. You have, kasi I think you've
Okay, one moment.
a very special guest here, live in the studio. So 105.1 through Zoom. Joey Ayala, maayong buntag ni mo diya, Mel. You're live on the air on 105.1 TMC. I think Mel Libre is on mute. Good morning, Sir Joey Ayala.
I'm buntag.
Oh, there you are. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What an honor it is to have you live here in Cebu and all over the Visayas, and of course all over the world through social media and the internet. Joey Ayala, how's everything, sir? How are you doing?
Mabuti.
Saan ka ngayon, sir? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm at home, Quezon City.
Oh, in Manila.
In Manila.
Okay.
Manila.
It says here in your Wikipedia that you're originally from Bukidnon. Is that correct?
I was born in Bukidnon.
Okay.
Pero infant pa lumipat ng Los Baños.
Oh, okay.
Tapos after 4 or 5 years lumipat ng Cubao, Quezon
Okay.
City. After high school lumipat ng Davao, Tagum, tapos Davao.
Oh, okay. So, if you don't mind
Taga-
me asking you, why did you move why did your parents decide to move from Bukidnon to Manila?
Una-una, taga Manila sila.
Ah.
Nanay ko Ilocana, tatay ko Manileño.
Oh, okay.
Rich boy, poor girl. In those days. In those
Okay.
days, magtanan kayo. Then nagtanan sila puntang Bukidnon.
Is that what happened? So,
Tas doon ako pinanganak.
okay.
Doon ako pinanganak.
So, they did not come from Bukidnon. They were not from Bukidnon. Nagtanan sila doon.
Ilocos.
Why?
Sarat, Ilocos Norte.
Why Bukidnon of all the places to make
Yan,
make
di ko
tanan?
alam. Paborito. I think my dad was naturally interested in agriculture. So, hindi ko alam. I never asked them.
Oh,
why.
wow. Sayang, you should have asked that question.
Yeah, I should have. Never occurred to me to ask.
Also with us, of course, this morning, we have BOD Global's Mel Libre. Are you already there, Mel? Mel Libre?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Good morning, Mel Libre.
You can hear me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jiggy, and thank you so much to Joey Ayala for accepting our invitation.
Yeah.
Because as you know, Joey is in the news lately.
Oy,
especially
nga naman. Why is he in the news? Usually, if it's in the news, it's usually a bad thing, right? Ano ba nangyari? Bakit ba? Anong ginawa mo, sir? Anong ginawa mo?
Joey,
Are you a contractor now? What is going on?
Dalawang
Joey
magkasunod
was,
yun eh.
performed in Kadayawan.
Kadayawan. Pina-perform ako sa Kadayawan.
Nag-perform siya sa Kadayawan. And then what had happened is,
Okay, I think
social
I think
media
Mel
was
Libre's
aired, right?
I think Mel Libre's signal is not so good. So what exactly happened, Joey, sir? What brought you to the headlines? Go ahead. I think your signal is not too good, Mel. Go ahead, Joey.
Tumugtog ako sa Kadayawan.
Okay.
Tapos yung mga bata, ano siya, yung context niya, dance contest yan eh. So there were 8 dance troops sa tag 30, 50 kids. Tapos yung music talagang hyper na EDM na neo-ethnic na pinag-mishmash yung mga gawa-gawang music ko at saka ni Maan Chua at saka ng ibang musikero.
Okay.
Tapos talagang high intensity. Tapos tumbling mga bata, kuyaw kaig mga costume,
Okay.
very colorful.
Okay.
Tapos habang nagtatali ng score, pinaakyat ako.
Okay.
Eto, ako naman, dapat siguro after all that noise, contrast. Nag-mellow ako. Ako lang naman isa, gitara, boses.
Okay.
So yung mga bata, syempre nainip.
And then?
So habang nag-live stream, yung mga text nila lumalabas. Tama na yan tayo, katulugon na ko. Uli na. Takto na. So, yung mga may kilala sa akin, yung mga kahenerasyon ko na, saka yung a little younger, binanatan ngayon yung mga bata, wala kayong mga respeto, ganyan. Ako, tingin ko, hindi naman sa wala sila respeto, nainip sila kasi ang lalaki ng premyo, 1 million, 500,000, They wanted to know kung yung barkada nila nanalo. Yun talaga. So I didn't take it against them. Okay lang yan.
So when was this?
Kadayawan, August, kailan ba yan? 16 ba yun? 17?
Okay.
18.
Kadayawan is a celebration in which particular
annual Davao Thanksgiving Festival.
Okay, in Davao. So
Tapos
please continue. Go ahead.
After that, bumalik na ako ng Maynila. Tapos the next day, tinawagan ako ng taga City Tourism. Joey, pwede kang bumalik? Namimiss ka ng mga kaibigan mo rito. Sabi ko, sige. So wala akong tinanong. Basta, sige. Yung pala, Free Duterte concert.
Oh, okay.
Punta pa rin ako.
Okay.
Yung mga kaibigan ko, namimiss ko rin eh. I'll sing for anyone.
Okay.
So after that, binanata naman ako ng mga anti-digong. Bakit naman ganyan? So times 2 yung aking media exposure.
So at least it has nothing to do with corruption and floods, right?
Well, tingin niya sa akin, killer tsaka drug lord. Yun lang naman.
Mel, are you back? Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Continue. Please continue your line of questioning. Go ahead, Mel Libre, sir.
We're so happy with Joey joining us, and then I'd just like to tell you, I wrote a short feature, about you, about respect, and out of the one which I put in my Facebook page, and there were 80,000 post reach of that item, which there should be respect to you as an artist. Mm-hmm. And out of that, there were 6.4K likes and 264 comments. And all of them were supportive of your music and what you have done
Sarap
with the music Pilipinas. So, just an update, you have people who are loyal to you in terms of music, not necessarily Duterte people.
Well, that is great to hear. So, one of the things that I have seen you do on social media, especially, is that a video of you reimagining the Lupang Hinirang. We were just talking about it here with my partner Ralph here. Tell me about that, because in many countries it is all right to reimagine the Lupang Hinirang. And our Lupang Hinirang has been sung in the same way over and over again since time immemorial. Tell me about, let's revisit that video, and how do you feel about that today?
I think people should be allowed to express their whatever sentiments the way they want to express it. So it's okay to have an official anthem, but I think the anthem should also be flexible enough in terms of interpretation or rendition to reflect contemporary sentiments. Hindi yung forever ka stuck in a certain mode.
And I think the issue there with you was the syllabication, the way that the Tagalog was being
partly
diba?
As a songwriter, yun yung main technical concern.
Importante.
Yung syllabication.
But nothing nothing has happened.
Nawala, na-chop.
Walang effect yung sabi yung recommend. Walang effect yun.
You mean legally? Legal effect?
No. People who are, let's change the proper delivery.
Nagkaroon ng interest in changing it, pero hindi seryoso. Tito Soto said something, na kausap ko si Cheese Escudero, sabi niya, Joey, pag national anthem, your version is the one I sing in my head, but I cannot push for a legal change because his father was the one who wrote the heraldic law.
What's the heraldic law? Can you please?
The law that says you have to sing the national anthem as it is written, and you cannot deface the flag. Yung having to do with the symbols of the nation. Yun yung heraldic law.
There's
ang author niyan si tatay ni Cheese Escudero.
You don't feel like there are certain laws that need to be updated, Sir Joey?
Ang dami. So many.
Just that specific law ba? yung heraldic law.
Should be updated. There should be something removed also. There's actually a law against offending religious feelings. Nasa penal code yan, which is really weird because feelings are non-quantifiable. So you cannot apply a quantitative, objective system of justice to subjective feelings. Hindi pwede. Hindi. It's like mandating people to call you a he when you're a she or a she when you're a he. It's napaka masalimuot masyado. How do you connect the quantifiable with the unquantifiable?
You know, we have so many issues now in the Philippines, right? Is that why? Do you feel that something like the heraldic law or the anti-religious law, you can't criticize religion? Is it something that's frivolous? Is it something that it's nice to have, but we can't talk about that because you have bigger problems? Or do you think it's just as important? What do you think in terms of prioritizing, Sir Joey Ayala, sir? Go ahead.
I think it should be removed. It doesn't belong in the law, in the legal realm. It belongs in the realm of civil relations. You talk it out. You earn the respect of people pag hindi ka bastusin. Ganun lang. Hindi yung papupulisin kita dahil binastos mo ako, I got hurt.
It's good that you mentioned respect, and you get the respect of people. Kasi yung nangyari sa'yo sa Davao is a classic example, right? If I may try to be myself in the other people's shoes, in the new generation shoes, they probably don't know who Joey Ayala is. I suspect, if they're young, right? So it's also partially perhaps our fault that they don't know about a national treasure like you. Do you feel that parang we're not very good at preserving our past as a people? We're not recording people. Talagang hindi tayo masyadong magaling sa pag-preserve ng ating heritage and culture. Do you agree with me?
I think culturally it is not important to a tropical culture in general. Kasi in the tropics, nabubulok ang lahat eh. Pati struktura, nabubulok yan eh. Kaya naman ang arts natin sa tropics, yung hindi kailangan talagang i-aircon. Hindi mo kailangan i-preserve. Which is what? Sayaw, kaon, sanina, awit. It's the ephemeral arts that are natural in tropical culture. If they are not ephemeral, they have to be preserved somehow. You start incurring Western costs, air conditioning. Marami ka
wow. I've never looked at it like that. That's interesting.
Maraming energy expended to preserve things that are actually supposed to deteriorate.
Wow. So that's very interesting. That we are the way we are because we're a tropical country, a tropical nation. That's why we're not very good at preserving things because. But what I mean by preserving things is maybe writing about it in a book, perhaps, or maybe putting it on paper or something like that. I feel like as a people, we're not very good at recording stuff. Is that part? Is our temperament, our temperature, being a tropical part of our non-recording as part of our culture?
Yung recording and being a scribe, these are not common capabilities. So you cannot expect taong bayan to do that. It is really the work of people who are more refined in terms of observational powers and articulating powers. So writers, artists, broadcasters, journalists, it's their responsibility. It's not the taong bayan's responsibility kasi ang taong bayan, ang concern naman yan immediate, hindi naman past.
So talagang it is our responsibility in media to remind people.
Those who can, those who are aware of it and those who can give value. And those who are...
But I notice in other cultures, Sir Joey Ayala, sir, that parang they're very good at recording stuff. They're very good at writing stuff. Tayo, hindi tayo masyadong magaling doon. Is this also cultural? Is it also part of who we are as a people? We don't really want to write about stuff.
It's partly because we were taught to articulate using foreign tools na hindi nagmamatch sa ating natural. Parang yung alphabet. Di ba? Ang sa English, pag sinabing PhD level, that's an average of 7 letters per word. Okay? PhD level yan. Kasi nagmamatch yung alphabet doon sa language. Eh tayo, ginamit natin the same alphabet. Yung ating simple words, lampas ng 7 letters eh. So that's why it's so difficult to read Tagalog. Because we're using the wrong alphabet. So it muddles our articulating process. Binigyan tayo ng tools na hindi nagbabagay doon sa ating natural. Or for example, kalayaan. That's what? 4 syllables, kalayaan. Spellingin mo, K-A-L-A-Y-A-A-N. Oh, times 2 characters. So, lampas pa siya ng PhD level.
What do you mean by PhD level, sir?
Ano?
What do you mean by PhD level? What do you mean by that when you say that?
7 letters per word.
Okay, 7. So parang mahirap na.
Mahirap basahin ang Tagalog. Kahit simple yung konsepto, ang hirap basahin. At ang hirap isulat. Kasi daming letra.
One of the excuses that we hear all the time about who we are as a people is that we are, of course, colonized by the Spaniards, the Americans, and the Japanese, right? We have been colonized for hundreds of years. And this is who we are. You know, we can't change that. What do you think of that attitude, Bapo? Is that a correct? And we just have to embrace our being a colonial and all of that stuff, or should we try to break free from that tendency of being our colonizers' people?
To make it simple, let's just assume that we are not static. We are naturally dynamic. We change. No, either you get better or you get worse. There's no staying the same. No?
Correct.
So yun yung unang assumption dun. Kasi living beings tayo.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. The second assumption is we cannot negate what we are. We cannot be free of what we are. So there is an element of acceptance. I have Spanish blood, I have Portuguese blood, I have Chinese blood, I have Indian blood. I am not a colony. My ancestors were colonized, but I am not. I am not. So that's a matter of perspective. Wala akong colonial master, but I have habits that came from people who were colonized, and that's part of my habitual programming. So if you don't like what you are, you don't like the current program, you're free to change it. Yun yung kasi dynamic nga. So we are not trapped. We just think we are. Or if we don't want to take the effort to know ourselves and to accept the dark as well as the light, hindi tayo magbabago. We just function according to habit. That's when you are colonized. When you are functioning according to habit. You are colonized by your own mental constructs, by the constructs of your ancestors, by the expectations of society. That is what's colonizing you in the moment. In the past, yes, there were foreigners, but now it's us.
One of the most difficult things to change po is culture, di ba, sir? You know, like you are a product of your culture, your surroundings, you know, and you know, like for example, the Lupang Hinirang, you sing that almost every day during school, so it's drilled into your brain, right? But knowing that tendency, knowing what is being done to you, being programmed, does that help, or are we really who we are? And kasi what you're saying is that embracing who you are, you know, you were colonized. At least your people was your ancestors were colonized, but you're not a colony. But still, that's already ingrained in your brain, right?
Yeah.
So should we resist that? And what is the end goal? What is the purpose?
I think the objective is not to resist, but to accept and then change.
Okay.
Because you cannot reject something that is inside you. You have to accept first.
Okay.
And that's the first step towards changing. Like kunyari, may bad breath ka. Oh, natanggap ko na may bad breath ako. Now I can do something. Pero kung ayaw mo tanggapin, wala akong bad breath. Hindi mo siya mabago. So the acceptance and recognition and acceptance has to come before the inclusion of the dynamic, whatever it is you want, no? Yung anong gusto mong maging, tirahin mo. Coming from where you are, you have to start where you are.
You know what, Sir Joey, there's a growing sense that we are left behind by our neighbors in Asia, that we are not progressing as we should, right? Is our culture, is our colonial past have anything to do with it? And excuse me, and should we? What do you think is a recipe as far as our past goes that will help us get ahead of our neighbors in Asia, for example?
Unang-una siguro, let's not think about getting ahead. Kasi para tinatortura natin ang sarili natin if we keep comparing ourselves to other people. Ano yan eh? Yan yung dark side nung sinasabing kapwa. Di ba? Sinasabi na value ng Pilipino is kapwa. Maano tayo sa ibang tao.
Yeah. Alex Ayala mentioned that, yeah.
Compassionate, we are, etc., etc. You have to recognize that there's a dark side to that. We're always looking for external validity, external validation. We're always, pag may traffic light, kailangan may police. Kasi other-oriented nga tayo eh. Yung sarili natin, hindi natin pinakikinggan. Yung iba ang pinakikinggan natin. So that's the dark side, the shadow aspect, not dark but shadow aspect of the positive side, yung kapwa. Magaling tayong empathy, compassion. Kaya tayo paborito ng mga foreigner sa service industry. No? Aside from the fact na naliligo tayo kahit winter. We are the best smelling OFWs in the world.
Well, sir,
I like that.
Diba? Kaya champion tayo sa nurse, sa waiter, sa sex worker, sa maid order bride, masahista. Mapapango tayo kahit malamig eh.
Okay, sir, we have with us here also Ralph. Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay.
Take it away.
Thank you, Jiggy. We have you mentioned, sir, that it's not really ideal nga we're always comparing ourselves to others. What would you say is like a good metric for our progress as a nation?
Very good na tayo sa unang metric of a successful animal eh. Malaking populasyon. Diba? Maganda yung growth rate ng population natin and very soon you'll find Filipino blood everywhere. We're colonizing the world from the bottom. And that's another thing we have to give value to. Yung mga domestic helper. Bigyan nyo na rango yan sa military kasi intelligence source, tipin mo, sa bahay ng minister, yung mga anak nakikinig sa kanya, bakit natin? Baka naunahan pa nga tayo ng kano eh. Baka may mga CIA tayo na OFW, hindi natin alam. Pero dapat Philippines sa makinabang yan. Hindi natin kasi tinatanggap yung katotohanan eh. Saan ba tayo magaling?
Saan ba? Diba? Saan ba, sir? Saan ba tayo magaling?
Tayo, makitungo. Magaling tayo sa PR. Magaling tayo. We are connectors. But when we are good connectors, we also disappear in the process. Para tayong super glue. Like anong percent ng nurse sa States, Pinoy? Easily 60-70%. Alam ba natin yun? Kung alam natin, laging sasabihin, alipin kasi tayo eh. Negative kaagad ang ano. Dapat pagpalaki natin, kami naghuhugas ng puwit nyo, walang iya kayo, wala kayong alam. Sarili nyo puwit, di nyo kayo hugasan. Sige nga, kami na nga.
You know, sir, you have been a musician for such a long, long time, and you've seen our nation grow and go back to the to a certain set point and then move forward. Parang mga fits and starts of the Philippines. How do you feel about where we're going now as a nation? How do you feel about that? Looking back at our recent past, let's just say 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ago, and where we are now. Are we going to the right direction as far as Joey Ayala goes? So what do you think?
Ako, as far as survival is concerned, I think we're doing the only thing we can do. Send people abroad to work. Yan talaga yung natural natin na bagsakan. Expand the Philippines. Kung masama ang ekonomiya dito sa atin, ang hirap mag-invest sa east side kasi laging binabagyo. Ang hirap mag-invest sa west side kasi baka lusubin ng incheck. Saan ba tayo pupunta? Eh di sa ibang bansa.
For a long, long time
That's-
since I was a kid po, sabi nila, the Philippines has so many natural resources, and we have 7,107 islands. We have so many beautiful spots and all of that stuff. So sabi nila na why are we not producing as much rice as we should, and all of that stuff. I have been programmed, me specifically, and many of my contemporaries have been programmed to believe that. So is that false? Is that false? Is that incorrect?
That we are rich in natural resources.
Correct, yeah.
It's true. It's true we are rich in natural resources, but we also did not develop. We did not develop value-added activities. Wala tayong manufacturing, hindi tayo industry-oriented. Service-oriented talaga tayo. That's our cultural nature. Yun nga, kailangan tanggapin natin yan. Kasi kung hindi natin tanggapin yan, lagi tayong mali. Pag tinanggap natin yung mali, mas madaling maging tama kasi alam mo na yung mali.
That's a good point, sir. Also, sir, I'd like to acknowledge that you have a fan over here sa atong Facebook Live, si Boyet Sapong, and siya na, hello, Sir Joey Ayala. And he sent us 10 stars as a gift.
I don't know what that means. 10 stars. What does that mean? Is that 10 pesos? Sir, speaking of 10 stars, speaking of listeners, speaking of viewers, I know that we come from a different time before the internet and all of that stuff. Now, of course, yung sabi mo kanina in Davao, merong celebration, and it was parang you were performing, and a lot of kids were not very appreciative of it because of the vibe of your music, and then the vibe of the event parang hindi nagmamatch and all of that stuff. How do you feel about this new technology? How has it affected us as a people culturally, and how has it affected you as a musician?
Ako, I'm very open-minded when it comes to technology. When I first discovered ChatGPT, the other year or last year, una kong tanong, is there a God? Yung kaagad.
Anong sabi niya? Anong sabi niya?
Sagot niya parang very academic and very politically correct ang sagot niya.
Okay.
Very safe, very inclusive. No, it's an important idea, and there's a myriad of different gods.
Okay.
Ang next ko tinanong, can you list me to have an implant, AI implant?
Okay.
Sabi ko, gusto ko mag-volunteer.
Okay.
Sabi niya, there's no such program yet.
Yet. Yun ang sabi nila sa during the COVID pandemic, right? That
Neuralink, di ba? Yung kay
Elon Musk. Hindi, yung injection sa vaccination, di ba? Sabi nila merong conspiracy theory na merong chip daw sa
may nanobots.
Nanobots, yeah. So how's are you sort of learning how to use social media?
Oh, well, during the pandemic, wala na akong ginawa kundi sumubok mag-post sa YouTube. Lahat ng tinubukan ko lahat. Kapoy. By the time you gotten through the technicals, ayaw mo nang mag-perform in front. Pagod na ako, parang ganun.
Mel, are you still there, Mel? How's your Wi-Fi? Yeah. Live from New Zealand. Let's go back to Mel Libre. Go ahead, Sir Mel. Go ahead.
Murag laom na kay inyong hisgutan na. Very deep discussion. Balik na pagkamusikero ni Joey Ayala.
Go ahead.
Tell us about why did you go into indigenous music? You know, at the time nga ni Sud ka, si Freddy Aguilar was into folk, right? Dunay Juan de la Cruz is into rock. VSD was into disco. And then you came in with music, indigenous music, which was unheard of then. Why did you go into it?
Well, I grew up listening to all kinds of music, no? And rocker ako basically. I'm a folk rock 1970s teenager hanggang ngayon. But nung nag-migrate kami to Davao, I got involved with a theater group, Kulturang Atin, sa Ateneo de Davao. And then we were poised to produce a rock opera based on tribal legend. So nag-research kami. So I got to meet live Bagobo musicians who played agong, who played nakubing, nayanig ako. Ang dami kong alam sa Western music. Ba't hindi ko to alam? Nasa loob ng Pilipinas. And physically, nayanig ako when I heard the gong for the first time. Talagang may nag-respond sa bituka ko. Sa tinaig yun ba? May nag-respond talagang nag-vibrate na parang, pucha, ito totoo to. It's right in my backyard. So I felt responsible na people should hear this. So from that time on, I just kept trying to integrate it with the things I do. I'm still basically folk rock, no?
Yeah. So
I do not claim to be a traditional musician, but the sound ba talaga?
Yeah. So when you were there in Davao, you produced naghimo ka og album 1982, no? Nag-record ka sa
82, tatlong album yan eh.
How did you do that? I mean, you composed by yourself or you work with a group of musicians katong Bagong Lumad, or how did it go?
Primarily solo talaga. The first album was purely solo. It was recorded in a recording studio that was meant to do voiceovers for slideshows na aktivista. So ako gumagawa ng script, i-sequence ko yung slides, ako magvo-voiceover. So nung sineset up yung studio na yon, sabi sa akin, Joey, testingin mo nga yung mic. Dalawang mic, Sennheiser na pang-boses lang talaga. So, may dala akong gitara, kanta-kanta ako, yan. Paglabas ko, sabi nung isang, hindi ko na maalala sino nagsabi, gawa tayong album. Sabi ko, sige. Ganun lang.
Got other musicians to help you, right?
Wala pa.
The other ethnic instruments nga...
Later on. That came later.
Later on. So you produced 3, right? And
I produced one alone. The second one, madami na akong kasama. Sila Popong Landero, mga taga Davao lahat. JB, taga Cebu, JB Villasin, mga barkada. Yung third one, nandun na sila Bayang, nandun na sila Oni, Noe Tio, the third album, which was recorded in a 16-track in Jim Paredes studio in Quezon City.
Yes.
Naka-migrate na kami noon as a band. Pero sa Davao, isang solo album, isang group album.
And I will just tell Jiggy, Jiggy does not have much knowledge of you. Your first 3 albums was eventually taken by, I think, Weya Tingali, no?
Universal, Weya Universal.
It was simultaneously released. First one in Philippine history. Can you confirm that?
Yeah. Everybody was advising me, no, release one a year. Ako kasi, impatient ako na tao eh. By that time, nandun na yung 3 eh. Because 91 yun, 1982 pa yung una eh. Sige, sabay na yan. Tapusin na natin yan. Nakakaasar na.
And how was it? Unsa may reception sa imong album?
Maganda. Pero dahil in music industry yan, paglabas ng bagong artista, wala na.
So but for...
Punto kang e-heads, wala na.
So pagkaabot sa Eraserheads, nawa na sa ka.
Eraserheads, wala na.
What were you doing?
In case you're wondering what you're listening to, who you're listening to Mr. Joey Ayala live on 105.1 TMC on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok as well. Tops Media Center. Kung namo yung mga pangutana, palihog lang ko. O post lang sa inyo mga pangutana sa atong message board sa Tops Media Center on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Facebook as well. You can text 0999-887-6070. Maayong buntag ni mo, Attorney Jingo Quijano. Hello, Joey Idol. Hi kuno from Jingo Quijano, Sir Joey. I hope you remember me. We met through the late Mayang Rosales. I don't know if you remember Jingo Quijano, Joey, sir.
Bakit late?
Huh?
Wala na si Mayang?
I think so.
Yeah. Died last year, the other year.
Go ahead,
Mayang was a cultural worker in Cebu, by the way. Di ba,
Cebu,
Joey?
di ba? Di ba siya nagre-reggae yan si Mayang, maalala ko.
That's right. Anyway, what happened after when your music was no longer the flavor of the month? What were you doing in between that time and until the present, no? So may nahitabo.
Marami pa namang tugtog. Kasi the older fans, sila yung may disposable income eh. So nabuhay pa rin ako playing at bars, responding to concert invitations. Nandun pa rin yun. Saka sulat, tuloy-tuloy lang ako ng sulat.
And I think what you did is you did a lot of collaborations, right?
Along the way.
Yeah. Can you tell us kinsay mga nakakulab nimo in through the years? The most prominent one.
Music for Agnes Locsin's choreography. Madami yan. Pero yung pinakasikat dyan, yung Encantada, 1992.
Which was like right? Rock opera or something?
Ano siya? Con todo niyo ethnic baga. Con todo niyo ethnic. Talagang daming gongs, ang daming kawayan. Tapos yung sayaw, ganda masyado. Napaka-primal na all these ballet-trained bodies doing very primal moves na hindi ballet. Ang ganda.
And music.
Music. Pati banda nandun kasama. Sila Baya, Noe, Oni. Yun yung... Makikita nyo sa YouTube yan. Kaya lang, syempre, ang liit ng YouTube eh. Di ba? Iba talaga yung malaking stage.
So I can recall you collaborated with Francis Magalona, Francis M.
I gave him some lyrics, yeah.
Yeah. And then you won in the Philpop, right? O nakadaog ba ka? Or you
ano yun? Finalist.
Yeah, and what
finalist.
Was
yung,
it
papel.
And
ginagyan ni Glock na yun ng rap.
So any collaboration lately?
Lately, hindi pa naririnig ng tao, pero karirinig ko pa lang nung study. Binigyan ko ng lyrics si Abby Clotario sa Up Dharma Down noon.
Okay.
Mahilig ako mamigay ng lyrics. Ito, bagay sa'yo to. So, bahala na anong mangyari.
Because I think few people know that you are a Palanca awardee, right?
Yeah, also. A long time ago.
Unsa man to, was it a poem? A short story?
Short story in English. Third place lang.
Pero
Perfect Sunday. Untitled.
Are you still writing books or anything?
Na-addict ako sa short form, kanta. Pero binabalikan ko yung prose. So if you'll go to my website, joeyayala.online, you'll read a few short semi-fiction prose pieces. Halong fantasya at saka totoo. Bahala ka na anong tingin mo kung ano yung totoo, ano yung hindi.
Sir Joey, you obviously have a body of work that is large and beautiful, not just in singing but also in writing and in short form, like you said. Tingin mo po, what do you think is the importance, and how important is music for a nation, for its people? How important is music for you and its role in society? Go ahead.
More special to us. Primarily because yung articulacy tools natin na na-absorb natin sa colonial period, mahina para sa atin. Yung sinabi ko kanina na hindi nag-match yung alphabet dun sa ating native language. No? So we have to compensate. And one of the ways we compensate is to use the emotional language of music. Yung kumbaga, yung hindi mo ma-articulate intellectually dahil sagabal yung tools na ginagamit mo, doon tayo sa mas natural na tool, which is music. Now, I want to point out that music was one of the human capabilities that allowed people to communicate with each other, even during the time na walang papel at saka ballpen. Music was the memory platform. Kaya naman may mga kanta na 3 araw bago matapos, kasi history yan eh. And people remember because of the music. Pag may music, anong memory? Mas malakas ang memory sa words. Eh. So, ang unang na-develop sa literacy, hindi naman words, numbers. Business was what drove the development of literacy. You have to understand that. For very practical matters, drawings and numbers were enough. Hanggang na-evolve yung alphabets. Pero nauna talaga dyan, negosyo. Idodrawing mo yung kalakal, bibilangin mo ilan. Mas importante yun kaysa marunong mag-spelling. Noon. And the rest of it, kantahin mo na ang balita, ano nangyari sa hari. Ang hari, tinamaan ng pana sa tuhod. Kantahin mo na. Yun yung
So before
Roll ng papel.
before the invention of writing po, before the invention of printing, there was only singing to sort of
Singing.
to
Tigapeta nga yata yung nagsabi, ang tao daw sa Leyte lahat kumakanta. Malamang kasi pumunta siya ng palengke, isda. So to a foreign ear, everybody is singing.
To record information, to record events, right? Kanta lang before singing, before writing po. It was just singing, so that's how you remember things because it's easier to remember pag kinakanta.
Exactly.
Pag kinakanta. You know, when I hear the word Joey Ayala, the word that I associate with you is nationalism. Is that a correct is it analogous po? Tama ba? Joey Ayala,
medyo
nationalism.
Nationalist because I use the tools of the nation. I use the language and I use the experience. Kung ano ang naranasan ko dito sa bansang ito, yun. But I'm not a Nazi.
So, my next question would be na in this day and age nga parang tingin ko there's a surge of globalism. We're so interconnected now because of technology, because of the internet. Parang homogeneous na tayo. We sometimes have look at the world similarly. Parang we're all becoming homogeneous in many ways. And parang nationalism is a kind of under attack, if you will. How do you feel about where we are now as not just a people, not just as a country, but as a planet? Like ano bang role ng nationalism, and is it becoming less important, nationalism po, or is it even becoming more important?
Look at it this way. We are all, again, dynamic and evolving. And one of the rules of evolution is what serves the future generation is what will survive and prosper. So kung ano ang pakinabangan ng bata, yan ang iiral in all realms, economics, politics, culture, whatever. Even our physical bodies. Kung ano yung may silbi sa bata, the next generation will carry the DNA forward. Ang babae may suso pa rin yan. Kasi kailangan ng next generation yan eh. Ang lalaki nakabubuntis pa rin yan. Kahit bading ka, if you do the act, makakabuntis ka pa rin. Because that is what serves the species. So yun yung isang role. No? What serves the following generation will prevail. That is a biological hardwired.
But how about nationalism? Do you think it will survive?
Yung nationalism, ang question dyan is, does it serve the next generation? Because nationalism is a mental construct. No? So it is. It's just a convenient way of looking at management. You belong on this island. Let's put dividing lines here that don't really exist, and let's call it a nation. So it's a manipulative aspect, which is the part we don't like. Say, rally for the nation and then kill the motherfuckers. We don't like that. No? Either way, whether it's left talking to the right or the right talking to the... Patayan kayo because of your stupid labels. Bahala kayo, but I don't like that. No? Hindi ko gusto yun. And I think in terms of nationalism, that is the part that should wane. Because it does not serve a good purpose. Using nationalism to manipulate people, to suppress people, to invade other people. I don't think that's a healthy interpretation of nationalism. I think the healthier word is patriotism. I love my country, I love my people, I love my culture. Sino ba yung nagsabi ng I have no choice but to do that because I live here, I grew up here. So in part that's our programming, no? So meron tayong programming na tribal, na very insular, very contained, na pag hindi ka kasali dito, kalabang kita, kaaway kita. May ganun tayo. Meron din tayong universal aspect na you can recognize yourself in people who are starving. Iba rin yun. The recognition of the universal human being or consciousness. So meron din tayo nun. When we are quiet and we look at each other, we are the same thing looking at itself. Parang ganun yan eh. Pag tanggalin natin yung mga kulay ng balat, nationalism. Of course, hindi mo matanggal yan totally. Pero pag nagtinginan kayo, tahimik lang, may in love ka eh. That's why sometimes strangers are embarrassed to look at each other. Because they'll find themselves falling in love. Now, ako yan I can see myself in you. That's why sa India, di ba, yung namaste, I am greeting the highest part of you because it's the same thing in me. Meron tayong lahat na ganyan.
So tingin mo po, does nationalism serve the future of future Filipinos? Or do you think the surge of globalism is unstoppable and will eventually replace nationalism?
I think nationalism will be reduced. I hope nationalism will be reduced to some efficient way of packaging and managing resources and identities. So lahat ng identity mo, o sige, Pilipino ka. May purpose yan. Pupunta ka ng States, o ano ka, Pilipino. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, I'm a universal human being. Hindi nila tanggapin yun.
Mm.
So it is convenient as a label. May purpose yan. There's a purpose. It should be, nationalism should be a guideline for the management of natural resources. Kapital kasi ang natural resources eh. If I'm just going to sell it for profit, mali yun. You have to sell it to invest in the people who live in the area. So kunyari, gusto ko ibenta yung isang bundok sa Mindoro kasi 80% nickel yan. O saan mo dadalhin yung pera? Anong gagawin mo sa mga i-dislocate mo? Dapat logical siya. Dapat meron siyang balanse.
So if parang nationalism is just a mechanism or a kind of way to manage resources and all of that stuff, what do you say? What do you have to say about globalism? Anong tingin mo sa globalism po?
It's also evolving. We don't know where it's going, but definitely technology is part of the, to use a biblical metaphor, part of the Tower of Babel, di ba? Meron tayong commonality that brings us to heights. Pero pag nasira siya, kunyari biglang nawala internet, magko-collapse ang buong tore.
Mm.
So it's ganun, the more complex a system becomes, the more fragile it becomes. So yun naman yung natural, that's the way nature
and
develops
with all of this technology, especially with AI now, and people using AI to make music, what do you think the role of the artist, like you, the musician or even painter or whatnot, whatever art form you're in, do you think it'll be less important in the future, like in a more globalistic future? What are your thoughts on that?
I think ang paggamit ng teknolohiya, you have to be aware what you are delegating and what muscles you are stopping from use. Kasi magde-deteriorate yun eh. So if you rely on a certain technology, like kunyari, postizo, pag tinanggal mo yung postizo mo, hindi ka na makakain. Baka ganun din ang mangyari sa AI. If you delegate so much work to AI, pag may nangyari sa system na yan, anong gagawin mo?
But we're already doing that. For example, remembering cell phone numbers. Yeah, I don't remember any cell phone number anymore because it's my phone, right? So
we already know what's going to happen. If we delegate thinking to AI, we will generate a non-thinking species. Hindi na siya Homo sapiens. Homo insapiens. Taong di nag-iisip.
So back to my question po, what do you think is the role of the artist in the future?
Well, ang artist naman, ano yan eh, parang astronaut yan. Pupunta ka sa hindi pinupuntahan na ibang tao, tapos ikwento mo ano yung nakita mo. Yun pa rin. Hindi talaga siya magbabago. Ang magbabago is, ano ang pwedeng i-delegate art ng artist sa makina. Like kunyari, ako meron akong concept for a musical. Ang hirap magsulat ng musical. Tinanong ko sa AI. Sabi niya, how many acts? Ang dali lang sa kanya. Oh, talaga? You mean I can just fill in the blanks? So pwede. But it also weakens me in the sense na tatama rin na akong to do the everyday writing for 3 months and do nothing but. Tatama rin na ako niya kasi dinelegate ko sa AI. Pwede naman pala.
So are you admitting, Sir Joey Ayala, sir, that tinatamad ka na? I mean, like you're delegating a lot of the tasks of an artist and you're becoming tamad.
Na-realize ko na yun talaga ang mangyayari. Pero I've seen the possibilities.
Go ahead, Mel. I think
yes. Joey, you work with NCAA, right? As a committee.
NCCA.
NCAA. Or that group, cultural.
Basketball. NCCA.
Investments there as a committee chairman.
Ano ang what?
Accomplishments
Wala
mo.
na ako. Wala na ako.
You served for about 10 years?
About 6 siguro, 2 terms.
Yeah.
You want
Because
to know what I learned?
Were there things that you were able to introduce when you were there?
Ang nagawa ko, gumawa ako ng organic music. It was a tour of indigenous musicians and inheritors. So may tiguang na apoy bata. Like may Kuchapi Masters sa Mount Sulaiman. Tumugtog din yung kanyang pamangkin na tinuturuan niya. Tumugtog din yung mga katulad namin ni Popong na hindi naman kami katribo nila pero gumagamit kami. So it was a show of tradition, inheritance, and fusion. Tinur namin yan. Nag-Cebu kami, nag-Baguio. In every place, iba-ibang tradition. Like sa Cebu, may nagsiday galing Leyte yata. Sa Baguio, dumating yung mga Kalinga galing sa Lubuagan, sinayawan kami. So, ano siya, interplay, parang time travel. May makaluma, may pinagmanahan, may nagpo-fusion. So, tatlo.
Is there a future in Eros music? Not by future, because world accepted now.
Hindi, ako lang eh. Ako lang yung ganung kagago eh. May nag-iimbita na balik daw ako doon sa music committee. I'm still thinking about it hanggang malapit September 15 yata yung deadline para mag-decide ako. Nakaka-frustrate din kasi ang liit ng budget and ang liit ng budget ng NCCA and they have to cover the whole Philippines. Tapos nandun yung you have to please everybody. Yung ganong klaseng instead of concentrating your resources and doing something really meaningful and deep, you have to spread it out, puro kababawan. Kaya pa ulit-ulit lang kasi yun na yung alam ng tao eh.
It's interesting that you label yourself as ikaw lang ang gago na naggawa ng indigenous music po. You know, one of my things po dito sa ating radio station po sa 105.1 TMC is we're playing all local music, right? Talagang full on 100% support of local music. Ba ang tanong ko sa iyo po, meron ba talagang can you define ba what original Filipino music? Is there like a sound? Kasi yung makita mo yung for example K-pop, meron silang visual at saka sound na that's parang talagang K-pop yon. If you say, let's just say music from Europe, parang there are elements that you can you can see and you can sense that's really like music from the United Kingdom or music from the United States. Maybe like country music for example, talagang galing sa Amerika yon. Yung musika na galing po sa ating bayan po, meron bang distinguishing characteristics po na makasabi ka if you're a foreigner listening to that music, talagang that's a Filipino song?
Well, primarily language.
Yeah. Well, aside from that.
Kasi aside from that, halos wala. Kasi kahit yung kundiman can be traced to European eh. Tapos yung talaga sabihin mo indigenous like chants, hindi naman pumapasok sa pop music format yan eh. Kasi hindi siya pop song na may beginning, middle, tsaka end. Ang chant, you're speaking your mind. Indigenous. And that's not just Filipino, that's universal. You hear that all over the world. So language is the primary thing. Melody, may tendency tayong matamis ang melodiya natin. Ang lagi kong model, si Ray Valera, ang tatamis na mga tono. Wala tayo masyadong strident melodies like you will hear from the Germans. Yung ating national anthem, yun. That is a military, European military melody and rhythm. Very strident. It's a war music. Bagay siya sa war. Panggera talaga yan. So iba-iba. Pero yung natural natin, malumanay, malambing, matamis. Mahal kita, dito bola, sinasamba kita. Ang pag-ibig natin ay ang bayan kong Pilipinas. Nangisilang ka sa mundong ito. Very melodic. Yung naririnig natin ngayon na very urban, yung mga panyapatapigat ang batayang. Actually, hip-hop na hindi masyadong melodic ang emphasis, more rhythmic. Mas ano yan, I would say it is coming from an older culture than the melody. Kasi pag nakinig ka sa tribo, rap din naman yun eh. Lagyan mo, yung instrumentation lang naman ang naiba eh. But rhythmic speech, speaking what's on your mind and using an artistic device like rhythm or melody, that is universal. And if you look back, meron tayo nun. We just branding it Filipino. Kasi nandito tayo. Wala tayong choice eh. Nandito tayo. Pero actually, that's universal. Pag pinachant ko ang taga-ibang bansa, yun din naman yung maririnig ko. Ganun din naman eh.
So,
tingin mo po, yung search for original, is that like a nebulous goal po? Yung parang it's an impossible task to search for, let's just say, an original sound, for example. Talagang imposible yun. Or
No. I think we're just searching in the wrong place. To search inside, it's not an external thing na, this is Filipino, and you take it.
Okay.
Hindi. Ano yung na-absorb mo bilang Filipino? Ano yung synthesis mo bilang Filipino? Yun. Well, it might sound very American simply because you have absorbed a lot of American. But your processing unit, your CPU, is Filipino. Ikaw yun eh. So ipoprocess mo siya. Then labas may pagkakano. Wala tayong magawa. Yun talaga yan.
Go ahead, Mel. Go ahead, Mel.
You've performed in other places in the world, no? And most probably you may have worked with other indigenous or ethnic musicians from other countries with their own sound, diba? What you're saying now is that there is actually the indigenous sound of the Philippines, like kanang mga Kolintang, uban pa, they are also present in other countries.
Oh yeah.
So
because countries, what is the oldest country in the world?
Which is India?
I don't know.
Africa, bakit?
Yeah, but before it was called Africa, what was it called? We don't know, di ba? Kaya nga, nationalism, sinasabi ko nga, construct yan. It's a management tool. It's a management tool for defining responsibility, boundary, and ownership, and loyalty maybe. But it's not present in the geography.
So what you're saying now, indigenous music is more like coming from inside a person. It's not the beat, it's not the rhythm, but it's something from within the person and going out.
May beat naman, that time may puso eh. So all rhythm originates from the biological beat. Ano yung naririnig mo na kasi napupunan ka pa. Kung ang nanay mo nervyoso, so ang tibok ng pulso niya, arrhythmia, chances are, pag nag-musician ka, baka ganun din yung tugtog mo, may arrhythmia. Sinkopado. Hindi ko alam. Pero I think that's the most basic foundation of everything is biology.
What can you say now? The present state of Philippine music. P-pop, K-pop. What can you say about the present state now of artists and music?
I don't really listen to anything much. But out of curiosity, like SB19, tingnan ko. K-pop, nanood ako. Taylor Swift, nanood ako. Parang pare-pareho lang naman sila because they're just influencing each other. No? Yun nga yung intake kasi natin nagiging homogeneous eh. Not for me, but I think for most people. And another difference from my generation is ubiquitous na itong headphones. Nung panahon 60s, 70s, baka DJ lang ang may ganito eh, o wala nga eh. Di ba? So we absorb the aesthetics of the older generation. But now, with earplugs, the young people no longer accidentally imbibe the aesthetic standards of their elders. So meron siyang divide of pagpasa ng artistic values na hinto dahil sa technology. So if you're a young person, your list, ano pinakikinggan mo? Tatanungin yung barkada mo. Di pare-pareho na pinakikinggan nyo. Di ba? Oh, so ito sa ganda ito, K-pop. O di hindi mo na maririnig yung mga master na ang gagaling kutsapi na sa YouTube naman, but you never look for it because you don't know it exists.
So is that
nagki-feedback na lang yung contemporary culture na napakakitid. Nagki-feedback siya, lumalaki siya.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Sounds like it's a bad thing, right?
Depends what you're looking for. Kasi kung negosyante ka, take advantage, di ba? SB19, di ba? Laki ng 2 beses nilang na-take advantage yung Philippine Arena. Napuno nila for 2 nights straight. Sipin mo, ang mamahal ng ticket. That's a good thing for the musicians and for the people who like that. It's a bad thing if you're attached to other forms na sa tingin mo, lugi o kulang.
You know, I remember you sang earlier yung Bayan Ko at saka yung Ibon and all of that stuff. Parang those protest songs, and one of the roles of music historically has always been a kind of rebelliousness, a kind of protest about something, right? And if you look at our history as a people po, Philippines, there are many protest songs that we can remember. I can remember. Our generation can remember. At tingin ko po, the role of music now, when it comes to uniting people, has it diminished? It looks like it has been diminished. And parang hindi na pareho ng back in the 70s and the 80s na talagang the role of music was very front and center po in our lives.
Ang music, effective siya for expressing negativity. It is more palatable to hear a complaint in the form of music than a direct statement of complaint. Na-realize ko yan nung nakikinig ako sa tribo. Manang, kantahan yung nga bisita namin. Kakantayan na. Pag tinanong mo, ano yung sinabi niya? Ay, mahirap daw ang buhay na maging ikalawang asawa. Sabi. Tapos minsan nasa tribal festival ako sa South Cotabato. Nagbabasketball yung mga bata, nagbabalibol. Kasi Christian community na siya. Yung mga beads, may rosaryo kasama, ganyan. Saya. May tumutugtog na yung usong music noon. Tapos sa hillside, may matandang babae, may microphone, may trumpo. Kumakanta. Tinanong ko yung kasama ko, sinasabi niya, sabi niya, umuwi na kayo kasi fake itong festival na to. Pero kinakanta niya. So minsan, gusto ko makinig ng traditional music. Dai, tumawag ng 19-year-old na bata. Kantahan niyo yung bisita namin. Kanta siya, diba, traditional song ba yan? Sabi nung interpreter, sabi nung bata, gusto niya mag-aral doon sa Patag, pero sino mag-aalaga sa magulang niya kung aalis siya? So, yun yung realization ko, indigenous music is simply speaking your mind using whatever tools you have, whatever art you have. Yun ang indigenous. So, if your indigenous music is taken from Spotify or YouTube, wala tayong magawa. Yun ang indigenous music mo, yun ang subconscious programming mo, and your output will be the same. Unless, yun ang natural. Unless you exert a supernatural effort. That is where supernatural comes in for me. Kung ano yung natural mo, kung kaya mo siyang alpasan, that is a supernatural effort. And that is also the only way you can change your karma. The pronunciation pala is not karma, it's karma. The way to change your karma is to do things that are not habitual. Because if you're doing habitual things, you're thinking habitual things, history will repeat itself. But if you stop and you catch yourself, shit, I did this yesterday. What is the new thing I can do today? That's why many self-help people suggest simple physical exercises. Like you're right-handed, brush your teeth with your left hand. It's to recreate the neural networks sa pikas, sa kabila. Kasi brain plasticity yan eh. If there are things you don't do, the neural connections will deteriorate. And it's the same thing with culture. If you do not connect those neurons, if you don't think they're important, they will deteriorate. Connecting to your language, connecting to the rhythmic and melodic structures of the tradition, So nandun nga yung question, how important is it to preserve? Maybe it's not important because the youth will decide, not us. Tayo, we just share what we can do. Pero kung walang silbi sa kanila, mamamatay pa rin yan kahit anong gawin natin. You can enshrine it legally, like say, okay, put this in the museum, pero hanggang doon na lang yan. And even that, delikado. Kasi, maalala ko, may naggumawa ng Mindanao exhibit sa National Museum. Mindanao, puro Mindanao yan. Kinuwento sa akin to ng curator ng museum. At towards the end of the museum, may dumating na group of Datu from Mindanao, tinur niya. Tahimik lang daw yan sila throughout the tour. Afterwards, nag-react yung isang Datu, Sir, bakit nyo naman dinisplay yung mga lumang damit namin? Diba? Iba yung perspective.
So it looks like you're reimagining the role of history po, because I think history, there's an entire course of history, and everybody has to go through history class and all that stuff. Can you tell me po, is history is looking back serve any purpose, and what is its purpose? What's the purpose of history?
History has no purpose. It serves the purpose that we put it to. Tayo yung operative. History is not operating. It's just repeating. It's just karma. It's just a product of habitual and non-habitual actions. Consequence lang ang history. Nasa atin yan. How do we allow that to affect us? It's important to know history because then it's like accepting pilay ka pala. O di gumamit ka ng tungkod, gumamit ka ng baston. Parang ganun ang history. Alam mo, ito ang kahinaan mo, dito ka magaling. It's a know thyself thing. It's part of self-knowledge. So you can move forward.
We have a message here from a certain Bill Ryan Rances. Go ahead.
Okay, natay comment from Sir Bill saying, hello po, Idol Joey Ayala, isa po kayong alamat. Gawa po tayo foundation, pangalanan po natin Joey Ayala Center. And what do you think of the idea, sir?
Basta may kwarto ako, okay lang.
And he says, favorite song ko po, Walang Hanggang Paalam at Karaniwang Tao.
I wish I could write those songs again. You can only write a song once. Yun ang hirap dyan.
Yeah.
Our time now it is 11:10 in these beautiful islands of the Philippines. You're listening to the voice of Joey Ayala live on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Tops Media Center. Kung naamo yung mga pangutana, ibutang lang niya dito ninyo sa atong mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga social media platforms. Mel of New Zealand, BORIG Global. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. In the next 5 years, Joey, what's up?
Get older. Crap.
other than growing older, what's next?
I'm writing stuff. I hope to be able to learn how to market it. Iba talaga Bumaliktad yung marketing structure.
So
in the old days.
Still writing songs.
Oh yeah.
But you are an independent artist now.
Yeah, well, I've always been. Yeah, until somebody else becomes interested. Pero sa negosyo kasi, I'm not a viable product. Gusto nila yung wala pang kunot, ayaw nila ng ganito.
Probably you should become a national artist.
May sweldo ba yan? Wala yata Madaming responsibilidad.
You ask him, and he will tell you he has.
In practice naman, I think I already am. And a lot of people introduce me as such. So, minsan nga nakabanner pa, nahiya nga ako. Hindi yun totoo. National artist, nakalagay.
Is Joey Ayala still actively performing po? Are you performing anytime soon? Is there an event that perhaps our listeners, our viewers can go to and watch you perform po?
Tomorrow I'm doing a lecture performance at Woodrow's Eskwelahan.
Okay.
The next night, 12 Monkeys sa Pasig. And then the next night, somewhere in Kidapawan, I'm not sure exactly where, pero somewhere in Kidapawan. And then on the 6th, saan ba yun? Fundraiser for Arondalia Instruments sa Bulacan. So, meron naman.
How
Comes and
about
goes.
how about your music po? Is it available on the music platforms?
Spotify. Nasa DistroKid ako, so all the outlets of DistroKid, nandyan si Joey Ayala.
And do you have a new album po? Is there something that you released recently?
It's on Spotify.
Okay,
The recently released is Joey Ayala, Tambagong Lumad Live, 70s Bistro. Ang ganda na pagka-record. Para kang nasa 70s Bistro. Talaga pati yung mga clinking ng mga baso, tawanan ng tao. Para kang umuwi ng Pilipinas, Mel. Para kang umuwi ng Pilipinas.
Is this like a live album po or a
live.
studio
Very
album?
Live na live.
Oh, okay.
Pati yung mga sintonado, sabit, nandun lahat.
So this is a recording of a live performance.
Yeah.
But how about
it was recorded last year.
Do you have a studio album po that you released recently? Wala na.
Working on it now.
Okay, so do you have like a due date? Meron bang release date?
Oo, 2020.
You mean 5 years ago?
Overdue.
Bakit ba po? Is it increasingly becoming more difficult to find inspiration?
Hindi naman. Daming kanta. Yung nasa sidetrack ako, nauubos ang energy ko sa performing, workshops, nagbe-workshops ako. Tapos dahil sa nasanay kasi yung thinking ko, CD, cassette, wala nang ganun eh. Parang wala. Parang hangin lang ang iniisip ko, hangin, ipopost ko lang, ganun.
You know, in Cebu po, our music scene here in Cebu, Sir Joey Ayala, sir, is so rich. We have so many artists here in Cebu, so many musicians in the Visayas, not just here in the island of Cebu, in Bohol, in Ormoc, in Dumaguete, in Negros, and so on and so forth. In Mindanao, we have so many young artists who look up to you and are looking for inspiration as well when they make their art. What is your message to them, Pa? Do you have a message to all of our budding artists? Go ahead, sir.
Live an interesting life and look inside and look outside and make the connection. Make the connection between what you see, what you feel. Doon lumalabas yung magandang art. Relate to your surroundings, relate to your culture, relate to your neighbors.
And to the powers that be, sir, all of the powerful people of Cebu, of the Philippines po. As evidenced by New Zealand po, merong support system yung New Zealand, sabi ni Melibre, merong mga music grants and all of that stuff. What is your message po to the leaders of the country po in terms of supporting its arts? Do you have a message to them?
I wish half a kilometer of cement road costs 2 to 5 million siguro. Bigyan nyo na sa isang musician. That an output ng musician will live forever. Yung kalsada, next year, butas na yan eh. It is, I think, invest in beauty, invest in the minds of people who are thinking about good things. Bigyan niyo sila ng pera para kumalat yung kagandahan na iniisip nila. A lot of politicians are just concerned with what can be branded and what yung pwede nilang, yung physical. Nakakalimutan nila na yung physical is an effect. It's the mental that is the cause. Kaya nga tayo nagkakabulilyaso sa educational system. Kasi yung physical ang binibigyan ng atensyon hindi yung mental eh. Classroom. Ayan mo yung classroom. Ang daming may classroom dyan na mas magandang mag-aral sa labas ng classroom. Bakit kinukulong mo yung bata? Tapos sasabihin mo, lab environment, pero nakakulong. Hindi nag-match yung objective doon sa ginagawa. Puro physical lang ang iniisip. Well, it's not their fault. That's what they think people expect. They think people expect nothing but roads and food.
Go ahead, Mel. I think you have a question. Go ahead, Mel Libre, sir.
No, I think we should thank Joey Ayala for all the things that he has been doing, no? Sa mga kanta nga iyang gipanghimo, and we really hope na he will release an album very soon. And if ever you have a new song, please give it to Jiggy, because Jiggy will make sure na itukar ng kanta nimo.
Bantay ka lang. Unsa may give? MP3? Unsa man? WAV?
MP3 is good or WAV.
So
MP3.
kahit nakapost sa Spotify, ipadala ko sa iyo MP3.
Or it's ideal that you send us the actual file, the
sige,
MP3
sige.
file. Hindi yung link sa Spotify po. Just
Send the email address para mapadala na ako ang file.
yun ang gawin ko po.
Baka magsisi ka. Ang gig ipadala ko sa iyo.
Do you have any performances po in the Visayas and Mindanao po anytime soon? Wala ba?
Sa Kidapawan lang yung ngayong ano ba yun? 30 yata o 30. Yun lang. So far wala pang iba.
But Joey, do you write Bisaya song? Dunay usa na hibaw anako. Request ni ha. Can you write a new Bisaya song?
Can you write the lyrics? I'm not confident. Dili ko confident sa kuan.
Because you're not confident.
Dili ko confident Murag maulaw gani ko kaya I know that dili grammatical lang akong binisaya labi na og taga Cebu ang maminaw murag katawanan man ako.
Right?
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation with somebody from Quezon City and from New Zealand, which is beautiful, which is awesome. We have this full and rich conversation about music and nationalism and nations and all of that stuff, globalism, and then all of a sudden it was just cut off, just like that, right? and I don't know, is the future of the internet more stable? I can imagine it should be, right?
Hopefully.
Because that's how technology works. It gets better,
Yeah,
di ba?
it does.
Pero at the same time, dili gyud na malikayan nga maputol, di ba? Dili gyud na malikayan nga na power outage, di ba?
Yeah.
So kung ang tao sama nato karon nga ato anang gi-delegate ang paghinumdum sa mga numero, ang gi-delegate nato ang paghimo og kanta, ang gi-delegate nato ang pag-organize ato ang day in a calendar, right? So gasalig na kita sa teknolohiya. Kung kwao na ang teknolohiya nga gasalig ta, then something we will probably not know what to do, right?
Yeah, clueless na jud sa ibato na to.
Because we're so kaning
Reliant on
reliant. Mura tag nagsalig na lang ta sa teknolohiya ba?
lagi.
And si Joey Ayala mismo nag-ingon siya, ni-admit siya nga he's getting lazy. Right?
Yeah.
He's getting lazy because it's easier to do things.
Yeah.
Right? That's always a good thing because being able to do things faster means that you have the opportunity to do other things. Maybe perhaps more important things, right?
Yeah.
But mo lagi, kanang teknolohiya, makuha raman na siya, mabawi raman na siya.
Yeah, bitaw.
Anytime, like what just happened. So, inikuha na sa teknolohiya, magunsa naman ka.
Lagi. It's like one of my favorite content creators likes to say, he says nga, ang kaning mga tools that occur, especially with like AI, we should view them as like a multiplier. They can multiply all of our good aspects, but at the same time, they can also multiply all the bad aspects. So manang kan, if you get a bit lazy and you become reliant on these tools, mas masamot ang imong pagkatapulan and all that.
Pero kung maayo saga, kung kugihan saga mo, samot sa imong kakugihan, di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
Pero ang kuyaw niya na ba is daghan na kayong butang sa kalibutan nga dili nimo masabdan. What I mean is it's just becoming more complicated, more complex.
Yeah.
There's a rule to that, di ba? The law of increasing complexity. From the point of the Big Bang, everything's just getting more complex, di ba?
Yeah.
So daghan na kayo mga butang nga dili nito masabdan kanang gitawag nila og cryptocurrency.
Oh, kana.
Di ba? Unsa tawag niya na?
NFTs?
No. Kanang let's just say kanang stock exchange, di ba?
Oh, kana.
Diba?
Yeah, before crypto.
Blockchain,
kana,
di ba? So mga usa ni sa mga butang nga kung nakay ka istorya nga, like in a party, for example, somebody talks to you about what the hell are you talking about, bro? And you can tell by the way they explain stuff that they don't actually also really understand it.
Oh.
Nasa rin nasabtan kamay pero
Surface level lang.
Surface level lang ba? And there are many things like that nga dili ta kasabot. Di ba? Like for example, most people probably don't understand how the economy works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't even understand nganong unsay mekanismo nga ma-flush nimo ang toilet. Di ba? There's so many things that are so complicated and we don't care to understand
Yeah.
because we're busy trying to understand things that are our careers, for example, di ba? Di ata mo
Lagi.
focus ato mga butang nga it means something to us because
Oo.
that's where we're making our livelihood.
Mm.
Pero unsaon pag flash sa toilet, unsaon pag how cryptocurrency or blockchain works, how the stock exchange works, how the economy works, murag wa man tay labot ana in terms of its utility for us ba.
Lagi.
Sakto man tong gisulti ni Joey Ayala nga ang mahibilin ang katong magamit sa future generations.
And I think what was very interesting about what he was saying about ang future generation said is katong giingon niya nga kaan gani, we can try to facilitate kaning things for them to follow on, but ultimately ang mga batan-an jud ang mo decide unsay mahitabo sa future. Like we can implement programs as much as we can to try and push them in a certain direction, pero if dili sila ganahan ana, wala tay mabuhat, which I thought was a very interesting take.
Yeah. And it's actually very Darwinist, right? You can tell nga he believes in a kind of version of Darwinism. Nga like ang unsay magamit lang moray mahibilin, di ba? So ang akong pangutana niya na ba is kita diri nga naapata diri nga aware ta of for example of a person like Joey Ayala exists, right? And there are murag mga butang nga sa ato ang kagahapon nga nindot, di ba? What use is it for us except for perhaps frivolous or kaning selfish reasons nga atong i-preserve na nga naman, like what's the use of listening to an old song, for example, of Joey Ayala? Why do we need to preserve that? Unsa may gamit niya na sa atong mga future nga henerasyon? Mag-unsa man sila niya na kung makakita sila o makadungog sila og kanta from 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Unsa may utility ana?
Well, I think if you were to ask me,
yeah, I'm asking you. I'm
Like,
looking at you. That's
yeah, get it. For in my personal opinion, rather, I think when it comes to ang importance of looking back at the past, it's really to understand like where we came from and how we got to this point.
So why is that important?
I think ang argument na ilang gihatag for
Di
the
ba
importance of history is that primarily we're able to because they say hindsight is 2020, diba? So we're able to analyze the actions of people in the past and maybe build on it. Like, what did they do wrong? What did they do right?
But are we building on it?
Are we actually
building
executing on it?
And there are sakto sa tong gisulti ni, like I'm really baffled by the things that I had just heard this morning. And I mean, not very often I get baffled because I've spoken to so many people, and I'm really surprised. And actually, the word is shocked. Sakto sa tong gisulti ni Joey Ayala, nag-ingon siya nga kita we're focused on things, diba? Like we're focused on classrooms and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there, like why do we cage students, when in fact, sometimes it's better to learn like under the shade of the tree if it's not raining, of course. Diba? Or maybe inside under the shade of a basketball court or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Kay kung nag-focus lang ta sa the physical part, it's good. But I think it's more important what we teach them, diba? More important than the physical classroom.
Yeah.
Right? So but politicians want to brand things. They want to put like their name on a bridge, on a building, on a dike.
Oh. they want something quantifiable.
On a dam, diba? Mag-branding man sila, but when it comes to ideas, when it comes to the mind, lisod ka i-branding.
Yeah.
Right? But if you think about it, that's actually the role of branding. Isn't that what the role of branding is? To be top of mind, right? So I think maybe our politicians are getting it all wrong. Maybe it's not just about the thing that people think you made, but of course it's not true because it's our taxpayers' money. But like you can brand and put your name there, but if you're kung mo makabrand mo sa inyong pangan, your good name in the hearts and minds of people, I think that's more difficult to erase. What do you think?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It's also delicious. It's not only just more difficult to raise, it's much more difficult to achieve as well. So I think one ng main reason jud nga they like to rely on kanang physical nga projects. Kay mo man ang simple thing to be able to showcase gani compared pud sa kanang like being able to promote your ideals more in people, and to be able to see nga your ideals are actually being integrated into these people. It's harder for them to measure, so they don't like to do it, and it's harder for them to achieve. So murag they'd rather much rely on kanang simple means ba. At least mo nang view nako on that matter.
Which is what matter are you talking about?
Ang katong giingon nimo about nga when it comes to how our politicians have got it, they've got it backwards nga. It would be much more ideal nga they focus on propagating good ideas into the people, rather than just focusing on kanang physical nga projects and all that.
Yeah, but every now and then, if you notice, like some good ideas makalusot magyapon, di ba? There's still some good ideas that go through. I mean, like the hands of traditional politics is big and strong, but nagyapo uban makalusot nga good ideas, and that's what we should celebrate and put our attention to, di ba, kaning mga bago nga mga ideas, mga people like Joey Ayala. I should think that his ideas are relatively new, at least new to me, and to most people. I can imagine, right? So I think we should be on the lookout for those new ideas as well. And our time now, it is 11:34. Let's play a song from Joey Ayala. What should you suggest that we play this morning from Joey Ayala? We have so many songs in our hard drive from Joey. We already played Mindanao earlier. Do you have any ideas there? Panganay ng Umaga, what is that? One of his first songs. Let's play that. How about that?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Panganay ng Umaga. Joey Ayala, our guest earlier on 105.1 TMC.